Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Barre Beat podcast, streaming live to 802 Scoop from the Inside Scoop Studios, Main Street, Barre, Vermont. My name is Michael Boutin, and my co-host is Liam Hogan from Hogan Group LLC. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I can't complain too much.
No.
Got
Uh,
I've got I've got wonderful things happening.
yeah, I saw you had a couple of those things happen this last week since we were last here.
I know. And I can push a button on my phone
Yeah.
and my Jeep starts. I am very happy about that.
And you have to push in the clutch.
I don't even have to push in the clutch.
Have you done the thing where people mistake that they still have a manual and they try and shift?
Yeah, I've definitely done that. It's definitely something that, I'm going to have to work on. That's going to be, it is what it is.
Accidentally shift into park thinking you're going into third.
I'll get there eventually.
Do you have a shifter or do you have like a knob thing? What do you got?
I've got the little thing that goes like this down in the console.
Yeah, that's what I got too. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not anything too exciting. I got a Sport versus a Sport S, and let me just tell you, there is a difference. The difference, the Sport S, the Sport S is a little more expensive, like a lot more expensive, but the Sport does not have power rear view mirror adjusters. So like I have to manually adjust it.
Oh,
but
tough.
And that I can deal with, because I remember the day when that was not ever a luxury that you would have.
Yeah.
But the thing that really irritates the crap out of me is that I have to turn on my lights and I have to turn them off.
Yeah, you gotta do the
instead of because most cars nowadays, you turn on the car, the lights automatically turn on, and when you turn off the car, the lights automatically turn off.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, on the Sport, that is not the case.
Oh, you have to.
I have to manually do it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the automatic. No, I don't have the automatic high beams either.
Well, no, it's not automatic high beam. That doesn't even come in the Sport.
Yeah.
The Sport S. It's the Sport doesn't even have you have to manually turn it on. So when you turn off your car and you open your door, and if your lights are on, it beep, 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 beep at me. And I'm like, what the? So anyway, I'm going to have to get that fixed. Yeah. And if McGee can't fix it, then I'll have to bring it down to Yipes to have them do it. Yeah, that was irritating. I'm not going to lie. But like I said, now I have a car starter, and we'll talk about that very shortly.
Yep.
Because we're going to be talking about some cold weather. So tomorrow, windy with snow in the south, 28 degrees. On Tuesday, it's bitter cold, bit colder, sorry.
Bit colder.
20 degrees with a low of 12. Wednesday, 33 degrees with a low of 6. So it's going to get a little chilly in the morning. And there's overcast and, it snows. There's snow showers.
Ooh.
Yeah. Not that we didn't get enough of that this weekend.
I was just going to say.
Then Thursday, we've got an overcast with some flurries, 34 degrees, low of 24. And then Friday, we're watching storm, whatever that means.
Okay.
32 degrees with a low of 20. And then Saturday, not as cold. We're peaking 42 degrees.
Nice. That's patio sitting weather.
Uh-huh. That's going to be some nice weather with a low of 22. Might have to turn on the air conditioning.
I was just going to say, that's a little hot.
And then Sunday, March begins with 33 degrees and a low of 29. And then it starts getting colder on next Monday, which is 20 degrees, low of 7.
Ooh.
So now that the really bitter cold is over, it doesn't affect me as much. But I brought my Jeep down to Yipes and I
Yep.
had them install. So they have 4 different options. They have the poor man's option. They
Yeah.
have no, they have the standard option. They have the above standard option. Then they have like the fancy but not too fancy option, and then they have the fancy pants option.
You got the fancy pants.
I might have gotten the fancy pants. I either got the fancy pants or the fancy option, because I can go on my phone and I can turn it on from anywhere. I'm like just sitting down. I'm like, doop, oh, it starts. Beep, beep, beep. It's wonderful. I love it. It was great. I highly recommend going down there. They did it within like one day. I dropped it off. And not only did they do that, so with Jeeps, I'm a fat guy and I don't articulate well. So as I'm getting into the Jeep, one of the common problems is that you hit your foot on the side of the Jeep and it wears down the paint.
Oh no.
So I'm like talking to Val about this and she's like, we could line it. And sure as crap, they lined it. And of course, when I'm thinking like, because it looks, I mean, it looks when they pull it out, it looks like a big roll of tape, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at it, I'm like thinking how I would do it and just how bad it's looking in my mind. And I'm like, I just want you to know what I'm thinking. And she's like, no, we're professionals. We can do this.
We've got it.
We've got it. and sure enough, I opened it up. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And I didn't doubt her for a minute. It's just, it was just funny because that's the way my mind was thinking, but it's gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And they made it go up at an angle just perfectly. Like I would have never been able to do that.
Yeah.
So, and it would have looked kind of trashy if I had gone to Amazon and got the little insert.
Yeah.
It just, oh, Susan, we missed you too. Where have you been? You'll have to tell us where have you been. But anyway, so I highly recommend going down there, getting your work done. They do spray on bed liners, which I don't need in this Jeep, which is pretty amazing. I'm very happy about that. Window tinting, vehicle undercoating, which I do need. Auto detailing, which I got. And they even washed down my car. Graphics and logo application, heated seats, which I won't get because I think we've had that conversation, right? Haven't we talked about?
We might have.
I feel like I'm wetting myself. And I just don't like the feeling. Remote car starters, which I got, and trailer hitches wiring, which I already have, and truck and car accessories, which I might bring it down there to have them install a couple things.
There you go.
Specifically, I might have them install the little device. I don't know if I should say that. Maybe they're not allowed to do that. Well, she'll tell me if she's not allowed to do it.
Yeah.
But there's a thing that you can put in the Jeep that turns off that auto stop. Do you have the auto stop?
Yeah. I have to push a button down.
How do you feel about the auto stop?
It's annoying.
Yeah.
Because at stoplights, I have to let up and then it starts back up and then I have to wait. It's not very long, but you have to wait like 2 seconds before you can push on the gas. Otherwise, it just doesn't go.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely hate it. Wasn't a problem in the Jeep Wrangler.
Right. Because if you had an auto stop, you probably missed the clutch.
Correct. The whole clutch thing really just killed the auto stop. But in the automatic, awful.
Awful.
So I'm gonna buy this little thing and I'm just gonna install it. And if I don't know if they can, I mean, I know they can do it. The question is whether or not they're allowed to do it. I don't want them to do something they're not allowed to do. So, but I'm gonna install that thing and I'm gonna get rid of that auto start because that is a pain.
You gotta wait like 3 or 4 seconds before you can, and then
it's like an inconvenience that
you don't have
is
a button?
awful. And didn't the Trump administration like outlaw that or something now? Let me tell you, just so you know, outlaw that and you will get another victory. This is that awful. That is how awful that thing is. Anyway, it's for the environment. I don't care.
You'll probably get a lot of comments about that.
I probably will. Come on, Susan, tell me, do you like the auto start?
auto stop, auto start at the stoplight. And I feel like every time I'm stopped and it does it, I feel like my car is the only one that does it.
Yeah,
I always
it's not
feel
your.
like,
It's not only your car. But mine is not going to be a problem shortly. All right, moving on. So we've got the rabies clinic. Just reminding people again.
$20.
And Susan does hate it. Everybody hates it. That's because everybody hates it.
Yeah.
So we got the rabies clinic, which is on March 21st. Make sure you go to their website and sign up. I just dropped that in the comments. So it's March 21st, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 79 Pittman Road, costs $20 per vaccine. So get there. Do you know of anything that's happened in Barrytown?
No, I know I've been doing a lot of dog walking, so that's been happening.
Been doing a lot of dog walking.
The school looks amazing. I was up walking the pup at the school.
Nice.
Their trails look good. So
did you pick up your droppings?
I sure did.
Although, like he's gonna tell us not. He would lie to us right now. He would absolutely lie to
always
us.
Hard with that one because she likes to do her droppings in a snowbank.
Oh, so well, if it's in the snowbank, as long as it's covered up.
I'll have to take a video of this dog.
She then, you know, the kid that jumps into the snowbank. Oh, look, what's this, Mommy? It's a Tootsie Roll.
I cannot wait.
Awful.
Look at that. Yeah, nope. The only thing that's happening in Barrytown is Liam's getting skinnier because I've been walking like every weekend now.
That's pretty impressive considering you're pretty skinny as it is.
I walk much more. There's not going to be much left of me.
Well, you can walk. You can do an Easter egg hunt. That takes up a lot of energy.
Can I bring the pup?
Sure.
So you need all the eggs?
Sure. Sure.
Sure.
Easter egg hunt, Saturday, March 28th. I'm just letting folks know, 10 a.m. East Montpelier Recreation Fields. Open to East Montpelier residents and their extended families. So it's not everybody. It's just East Montpelier residents and their extended families.
You got any East Montpelier family?
I do not.
Well, I guess
not that I know of.
Egg hunt.
No, I can't. I mean, could go there and like go live. You want to do that?
And you could watch.
You could take the drone up. Take the drone up. You're laughing. I've done that before.
You've taken a drone to an Easter egg hunt?
I have.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Easter egg hunt will take place in the recreation field behind the school. And if the fields could be snowy and wet, please dress your children accordingly. There will be age-appropriate groups for children up through the 6th grade. So nobody after 6th grade going to the Easter egg hunt.
Well, I think they should change that because those of us who are over and out of the 6th grade still like to hunt for eggs.
Raylene, if you're watching, if you could hide a few eggs down here for him, that would be great.
That would be great.
And we'll watch him on the video cameras looking around for the eggs and then silently judge him behind his back.
That would be great.
All right. So there's not much going on in the city, town. Well, I don't know about the town. I didn't look that. That's your job. The city, they don't have any city council, no school board. School board meetings are done until after the town meeting elections. And
you're running for that, right?
Yeah, no. I am done. My last meeting was on Wednesday night, which we can talk about later. We'll talk about that whole ordeal later. I will make a note at the bottom if we have time.
Or in the middle. So we definitely have time.
Yeah, maybe. Best to be at the end. But so there's no meetings or anything. Just folks know that, in what, 2 weeks?
think it's
Is it 2 weeks? Is it next week?
I think it's next week town meeting.
Yeah, next week is town meeting day. So you get to vote on the budget. You get to vote for school board members and all lovely jazz. Some communities are actually voting on local options tax.
Hmm.
Do you know what a local options tax is?
They tax you on everything, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So the local options tax is where when you buy something, you get your normal sales tax, which is, 6% for sales, 9% on rooms and meals, and then 10% on alcohol.
Yeah.
A local options tax adds an extra percent on there. So in response to the rising financial pressures and a desire to limit property tax increases, nearly 20 Vermont municipalities are asking voters this town meeting season to approve a new 1% local option tax on rooms, meals, and alcohol or sales. These local fees piggyback on existing state taxes and have already generated over 50 million for nearly 40 communities currently utilizing them. By implementing these taxes, towns like Stowe and others aim to shift a portion of the tax burden onto visitors and non-residents while funding vital public infrastructure and safety services.
Does that mean we can fill in the potholes faster?
I don't know. Are they being filled faster here? Because we already have.
Not
already
that
have
I
one.
can see, but if that
So-
means we can fill in some potholes quicker, I have a couple that
Take it up with the city.
I'd love it.
Take it up with the city. I have nothing to do with that because I'm not a city councilor anymore.
Neither, and I'm not complaining. I'm not Facebooking. I'm not doing anything. I'm just
Neither
saying,
am I. I'm not saying anything either.
I am just saying there are a few potholes coming down into the city from
A few?
Barrytown. Yeah.
When I drive a Jeep and I'm like swerving all over the road, there's a problem.
There's
I
just
don't
a
know
couple.
what's going on.
Me either.
I don't know what's going on, but I will say the potholes this year are really bad.
They are. And
They are
that's all,
very
That's
bad
all I'm
this year.
saying. I'm not complaining. Barry City people work very hard.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Right.
But they're really bad.
They're really
this year.
bad this year. So
Yeah,
just
I
throwing
don't-
that out
I
there.
don't know.
But if we need
I-
more taxes, that's great.
I don't know if it's great. I think most people would probably say the more taxes would not be great.
Well, if it
just
fills the
saying.
potholes, I think
If
it's
it fills
great.
potholes, yeah. Which
I'm-
Barry City has a local options tax. I actually voted no to put it on the ballot because it failed years before. So I was like, you know what, the city doesn't want it. Let's
Right.
not do it. But I was wrong. The city ended up voting for it. Although there was some question of whether or not they understood what people were voting for on it. People that know what they're voting for made a comment that they weren't entirely sure what the item was. And I'm like, oh man. Oh well. So the town of Stowe is considering a proposal to increase it. Town of Stowe is increasing proposal to increase their local option tax to 2%.
Okay.
Bolton, Bristol, Castleton, Chester, Hardwick, Londonderry, Mendon, Milton, Morristown, Pittsfield, Pomfret, Roxbury, Swanton, Roxbury. What the hell's in Roxbury?
I don't know.
What is in Roxbury that for local options? Anyway, Swanton, Virgins, Waitsfield, Westmore, and West Windsor, all adding 1%. What in the world is in Roxbury?
I have no idea. I think they just don't
Somebody
have it.
drop a comment in telling me what stores are in Roxbury. I feel like that's a mom and pop store that somebody has an axe to grind.
I feel like it's just a general store down there.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm not a big
Genesto and Roxbury. That's the only thing I can think of is the general store there.
Yeah, that's the only thing
So
I
that's
think
kind of weird.
Yep.
Maybe somebody doesn't like the general store.
Maybe not.
There are a bunch of other things that are going on. Do you want to go through some of the different things that are on the ballots in the different
Sure.
area? So we've got Woodstock will vote on a 35 million upgrade of its main wastewater treatment facility.
Well, that's good.
Berlin wants a 6.8 million, wants 6.8 million to replace its town garage and 2.6 million to reconstruct its sewage pump station.
You know me, I'm pro sewage pumps.
Oh my goodness. Oh, excuse me. That was went down the wrong tube.
And it was really funny.
Windsor is asking 1.5 million to repair the dam, complete a skate park, and construct town highways, and 500,000 for a ladder truck.
Hopefully those town highways are pothole free.
Most of Vermont isn't pothole free.
Yeah.
I mean, legitimately, the reason why we have the potholes is because it just we've got frost heaves, right?
Right.
Not the basketball team from years ago, but the frost up and down,
Up
and it
and
just
down, and
ruins the
yeah.
pavement. And the only way to fix that is to Liam, don't kill me. That's what Susan's saying. The only way to fix that pothole issue is if you do like really substantial base work on the road, which is super expensive.
All right.
Williamstown is seeking 1 million for road rehabilitation.
Yeah.
And Plainfield will consider 700,000 to replace water lines and 250 to repave Main Street.
See?
They have a Main Street in Plainfield?
Look at this. Yeah, isn't it the one that goes past? Well, yeah, they have a main street because when you go up Route 2, you can either keep going on Route 2 where that actually nice maple fields is, or you can go down the hill and where Positive Pie is and all that other stuff.
That's Main Street?
I think that's what I would call Main Street in Plainfield, is where that Positive Pie is and that kind of strip mall of shops and stuff. That's probably what I'd consider. I mean, if they have a different Main Street, maybe. I don't know. I've never seen it. But I know Positive Pie is really good.
Bradford wants 250,000. I do like Positive Pie, but more importantly, I like Rookie's root beer, which they sell.
Ooh.
Bradford, have you ever had Rookies?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. Yeah.
Have you? What kind of Rookies fan are you?
I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know.
So you've had Rookie's root beer?
Yeah.
Okay. So Rookie's root beer, they bottle it up in Burlington, in Shelburne. I've actually gone to their house and picked up Rookie's root beer.
Really?
Yes. I'll message her or him. I don't know who's responding, but I'll message them and say I'm going to be swinging by to pick up like 6 cans of Rookie's root beer, because you can't get it in cans unless you're at like the fair.
Huh.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Fun things to know. You just reach out to them; they'll give it to you. And they bottle it out of their garage.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And when you want it, they'll put it in a cooler on their porch.
Huh.
You're stunned by this.
Yeah,
We'll have to do a road trip.
Road trip. Right when we go camping.
Yes. Bradford wants 250,000 to increase its police officer count from 2 to 4. Alberg will weigh returning to a 44-hour weekly county sheriff's contract after reducing to 30 hours this past year. And I don't even know where these places are. I mean, I know where Bradford is, but Leicester?
Over there.
Leicester? Sure, whatever.
License.
Whatever. There's, you know what? I'm just gonna so not only this is one of the biggest problems with town meetings is they do these some of these, and I'm guilty of this because I did a resolution about saving your seed. It was a not like saving your seed. It was like food security saving seed, because Monsanto doesn't allow you to save seed. Are you familiar with that process? So back in the day, when you planted a field, you would have to save seed so that you could plant it again. But Monsanto doesn't allow you to do that. Monsanto or whatever it is. I'm pretty sure going on 15-year-old information. So there was a movement to get communities to support a resolution to save seed. So TJ Michaels is on.
There you go.
Now we're in trouble.
Yeah, I'll see him on Tuesday night.
Oh, you're gonna go on the
yeah,
Alpha Men show?
Apparently I'm on the Alpha Men show until the end of their season.
Okay. So there's several advisory articles going on. So at least 8 communities, Brandon, Bristol, Cornwall, Middlebury, Putney, Ripton, Salisbury, and Weybridge, are all set to consider whether to ask the Vermont legislature to vote for House Bill 433, which would launch an incremental implementation of a state universal healthcare plan.
There you go.
No.
When was the last
Not
time
a big
you were
fan
in
of that.
Cornwall?
Cornwall. I don't know where Cornwall is. I don't know. I barely know where Middlebury is. Then there's an apartheid free community pledge considered by almost a dozen municipalities in the past will be weighed this year in Hartford, Montpelier, Richmond, and Underhill.
I know where Montpelier is.
We'll get to Montpelier. There's some information on that too. And then Westminster has placed a citizen requested advisory item on its agenda seeking the removal, because let me just tell you, one thing I am sure the president is concerned about is Westminster's resolution to remove him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
These resolutions they're very interesting.
Yeah.
Putney will be asked to support Vermont Secretary of State for refusing a Trump administration request to turn over information. Royalton will decide whether to impose a 5-year moratorium on local siting and construction of data centers of artificial intelligence.
No, that's just dumb.
Yeah, I agree with you. So that is a great segue into, because we should be totally promoting the AI movement. It has such great opportunities and will make our lives better. Yeah, TJ says somebody needs to read the supremacy clause. Yeah, no, nothing's going to happen there. But we'll get to the AI. But before we do that, I will say the one town that doesn't have local options tax, but does have alcohol and that normal tax, is Williamstown, which you can go over to the Den and you can get yourself a drink without having to pay that local options tax.
There you go.
See, there you go. And their schedule, February 23rd, beginner pool at 6 p.m., Pop Darts, which we still haven't figured out what that is. February 24th, line dancing at 6 p.m. and karaoke at 7. Wait a minute. 22, 23, so 24, that's Tuesday, 7 p.m. No? Not interested?
Well, you can go play Pop Darts?
No, we're going to do karaoke.
Oh, right. All right.
25th, pool tournament, 7 p.m. 26th, line dancing, 6 p.m. 27th is DJ X3 at 8 p.m. and Randy Beer Acoustics at 5:30 p.m. And then February 28th, Cold Front, 8:30. Do you
Is it
know
cold
these
front?
bands? You know Cold Front?
No.
Neither do I.
I know the weather term, cold front.
Oh, yeah, I do too, but I don't know the group.
Neither.
So, moving on, Vermont lawmakers are exploring a wiping the slate clean approach to school district debt as they push for further district consolidation. A preliminary proposal by Representative Emily Kornheiser suggests that the state could cover 100% of existing debt service via grants, aiming to ease the financial concerns of merging districts with varying levels of liability. However, the plan faces significant hurdles, including an unspecified annual funding cap and a daunting multi-billion-dollar cost required to modernize Vermont's aging school infrastructure.
Well, it seems like a solid idea.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I get the concern about districts that are created absorbing debt from the other district, but you know, our school system just sucks.
That's why they want to wipe it clean.
Yeah, we should wipe it clean. I mean, our school system is just really bad, and like systemically, it's bad. And as we're going into the budget, and I know a lot of people don't like the budget, and I get it. And we're looking at probably about $150 to $200 increase on $100,000 house, both Barre City and Barrytown, something like that. I don't know what the numbers are. Don't quote me on it. It's going up. But the problem isn't necessarily the district. It's the rules and laws that are out there on the state level. So we could drop, like in Barry, we could drop our budget, $500,000 and save 1 cent on the tax rate. That's it. Well, that's like $10.
Yeah. That's a lot.
And it's, so I don't know, it might be more than $10. I don't know what it is, but it's, and when you're talking about, an incremental increase of 3% this year, so 3.5, if you dump, you'd have to dump like, you dump a lot of money. And the issue with this year is that we lost a lot of our weighted children, and that's the reason why it's going up so significantly. But that's a product of state funding issues. And it's really frustrating and unfortunate. But the bill that we passed last year, Act 73, that creates a foundation formula, which will prevent taxes going up more than a normal CPI. And I co-sponsored, I believe, a bill that keeps the funding formula for foundation formula no matter what, because if people don't want the Act 73 to go through, they can screw it up and then everything goes out the window and we're staying the same that we are. But there's a bill out there that doesn't do that. It keeps the foundation formula. That would help with education funding, and so wouldn't another bill, which is to modify healthcare plans, and not modify the plans, but how they're worked with the unions. But like I said, we get a systemic problem in general for our schools. So, and this is a perfect example, which is the latest Vermont state report card reveals that a majority of the students are performing well below proficiency goals in math and English, with more than half of the state schools failing to meet performance expectations. During the 2024-2025 school year, fewer than 60% of students across all grade levels met English language arts standards, while math proficiency fell even lower, with less than 50% meeting grade level benchmarks. Governor Phil Scott cited that these alarm raising results as a primary reason for the state's ongoing push for education transformation and school district consolidation, while critics from teachers union accuse the administration of politicizing the data to target public schools, which, I mean, I have no use for teacher unions, so I can get into a lot of trouble with that. I have significant issues with teacher unions. But the graduation gap in Vermont has been on a steady decline for the last 4 years, dropping from 89% in 2017 to 82% in 2025.
Wow.
82%. That means 18% of our students are not graduating from high school.
Yeah.
I mean, I had 250 probably, and I think maybe 3 people didn't graduate.
Yep.
I mean, that's very alarming, and something is broken.
Right. You think it has anything to do with these?
I do think that has something to do with it. I definitely do think that our technology is a problem. I also think that, I mean, honestly, and I think we focus not on the right things in education. Like, we should probably go back to like standard education where we're teaching out of books and we're not using the laptops and
the Chromebooks.
Right. We should just go back to the basics. And, I'll get into trouble with the whole, like, you got to have social emotional stuff. I'm Generation X. Let me tell you, well, I'm Generation Millenniax. Because I was born on the end of Generation X, but I was born in Vermont or in Connecticut, and I moved to Vermont. So, like, I didn't have a cell phone until I was 18 years old, and I didn't get a computer until I was like 16. So my whole childhood was off the grid. And praise God. Because if it was on the grid, my life would be completely different. But anyway, so yeah, there's definitely, we could do better. We could do better.
Do better.
We absolutely could. The president of the Vermont National Education Association, which is NEA, the teachers union, said in a release that the Scott and Vermont Education Secretary Zoe Zonders were using the assessment results in an effort to pit schools against communities. And sure, whatever. I don't think so. I think he's just pointing to the problem and say, hey, maybe we should fix it.
Like he has been.
Right, exactly. Follow Phil, because he's correct.
We should make a bumper sticker out of that.
I'm sure there is bumper stickers that say follow Phil.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Need one.
I'm not going to talk about that item.
Skip right over it. Why don't you skip down to the end there? And we can
No, I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to read some of the comments, though. So Susan says, totally agree with me. I'm assuming that's regarding the education.
Yeah.
That's because I'm right.
Yeah. Everybody agrees with Michael.
Everybody agrees with me on that. Everybody knows it.
Follow Michael.
And TJ says, it's hard to teach math and science when you're spending so much time teaching them to hate their country. I mean, that's a legitimate comment. People definitely, teaching, some of that stuff is a little frustrating.
Yeah.
Then he says, my emotional support was my dad saying, go mow the lawn. That's what his emotional support. So TJ definitely is a Generation X.
Yeah.
He's like, I think he's like 20 years older than me.
Holy.
You may not find that very funny.
No. Well, if he's 20 years older than you, he's like 40 years older than
No,
me.
I think he's in his 50s.
Oh.
I think he's in his 50s.
Right.
So, I mean, he's definitely Generation X. Like I said, I was generation, so I was born in
Millennial X.
1980, the January 10th in 1980.
Oh.
So just barely after 1979. But living in Vermont, I mean, I don't know where the heck my mom was. I don't know. But I mean, I remember as a 5-year-old walking to 5 or 6-year-old walking to school. Nobody walked me to school.
No.
I walked to school. Granted, the school was right down the road, but still, like, I would disappear for hours, and nobody knew where I was. Probably a good thing. All right. Vermont lawmakers, and we're going to talk about this again, Vermont lawmakers are considering a significant overhaul of the state's vehicle inspection program, specifically looking at the proposal to change inspections from an annual requirement to every 2 years. While the bill aims to provide financial relief and convenience for drivers, it has sparked a debate over public safety and vehicle maintenance. Many local mechanics have voiced opposition, arguing that the harsh Vermont winters and salted roads lead to rapid vehicle deterioration that requires more frequent professional monitoring.
Whoa. Every year is fine.
Whoa.
I'm good with it. But now they want us to do more than every year?
No.
Right.
They're saying every other year.
Yeah, every other year I think is great.
Yeah. So currently it's every year. Not that I did that with my Jeep. My Jeep hadn't been inspected for like 4 years. But yeah, every other year.
Every other year. I think that's great.
This current Jeep is inspected.
You have a sticker.
It has a sticker. It has a
And
sticker.
go...
It is up to date because it's brand new.
Right.
Because you know who can afford to inspect their vehicles? People that have new cars. Because they have new cars. People with older cars can't afford to fix them, so they don't get them inspected. So if there's something else wrong with your vehicle, you won't know. Which is the reason why you should pass my bill,
Right.
which says yearly inspections, but it's a, hey, just so you know, you got problems here.
Right.
You need to fix it. Not you fail, you can't drive your car, even though you're going to drive your car because you have to get to freaking work.
Right. You got to go.
Supporters of the bill argue that the current annual system is overly burdensome, and it is, that most modern vehicles are reliable enough to safely go 24 months between formal inspections. Not to mention that like 90% of frickin' states don't have an inspection program.
Right.
Mechanics are particularly concerned with the critical safety components such as brake lines, frames, blah, blah, blah. Some versions of the proposal included a tier inspections, where older vehicles would still require annual checks. See, and that frustrates me. Like, that is absolutely wrong. Oh, well, people with new cars don't have to get inspections. That's ridiculous. If you can afford a new car, you can more than likely afford the inspection.
Yep.
It's the people that have the older cars because they have to buy older cars that are crappier, that can't afford to fix the freaking vehicle.
Right.
And this is where
the bill is great.
This is where my bill is great. I get very fired up over vehicle inspections because other states don't have them. Yeah. And I get that we want to meet our environmental standards for some reason.
Which is why
our California environmental standards.
They're probably not going to let you put that thing in your Jeep that overrides your car turning off at the stoplight.
Oh no, that's going in. That's going in. Like I said, I'll have yipes to it. And then I'll take it up to next year. I'll take it up my Jeep up to the Vermont Quick Lube because they
Yeah.
can do vehicle inspections, and that's what I'll do.
Oh, you're gonna start getting your vehicle inspected now?
Yeah, because well, I actually won't take it to Vermont Quick Lube because it's free down at McGee right now for the next 3 years. So I'll take it down there, have them do the inspection,
Then you'll go get your
and
oil change.
and then I'll go
Quick
get
Lube.
my oil change up at Quick Lube,
Yeah.
Vermont Quick Lube, and then I'll have it detailed down at Ruthier's Auto.
Right.
So yeah, if you're looking for prices, call 802. This is for Vermont Quick Lube because they offer all sorts of different stuff for your vehicle that they can do.
Yep.
Because they can do brakes, they can do like radiator flushes. They do a lot, rotations, whatever you want. Call them at 802-476-7571, or email them at vermontquicklube@gmail.com, or visit them online at vermontlube.com. Or just go up there, 679 South Barry Road, right next to Wilson's Harley Davidson. Let's read some of the comments again.
Right.
All right. So Susan says she's 65, so she's still a Generation X.
Yep.
And let's see.
Did TJ see our old comment?
Stephen Smith said when we lived in Kansas, they didn't have inspections, but your yearly registration was based on how new your car was. Last time I had to do that before we moved back to Vermont. There was a guy with a new truck in front of me. It cost him $1,500. Oh, that's a lot of money to register. But my guess is they don't have high property taxes or high sales tax, because that's what Virginia does. Virginia taxes you through the nose on your vehicle. And Susan says, yes, I think inspections should be every year. TJ says, so now instead of finding 1,200 of work needed to inspect it, they'll find 2,500 worth of work to inspect it. Yes, that is correct.
Exactly.
And I already said Susan was 65, so she's Gen X. And TJ said that he just celebrated his 25th birthday for the 27th time. So that makes him 50, 60 something.
60 something.
60 something. All right. Good to know. Let's talk about our buddy Bernie.
Buddy Bernie.
Yeah.
Are you buddies with Bernie?
No. Actually, so I'm not a big fan, obviously.
Are you feeling the burn?
Usually I feel the burn right about the time he's elected, and it's like right here. My comment usually is when I see the bumper stickers, feel the burn, I'm like, you should probably get that checked, because usually that's an STD.
Usually that's not good.
But Bernie Sanders is visiting California during the Senate recess to meet tech industry executives and discuss the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence and robotics.
Huh.
Sanders expressed deep concern that the American public and Congress are unprepared for the extraordinary transformations these technologies will bring to the global economy and the workforce. He plans to challenge tech leaders on whether their multi-billion-dollar investments prioritize the well-being of ordinary workers or are simply focused on increasing the wealth and power of the global elite.
Well, I don't disagree with him there. I'm not sure we are accurately ready for what AI is going to bring. I mean, I still think there's some I'm not sure rules is the right word, but definitely we gotta think about it.
Ooh, we're gonna have fisticuffs. We are gonna have fisticuffs.
Well, I
here.
mean, you can't just have it unregulated
Why not?
because
Tell me why.
AI needs to have.
Tell me why without quoting Terminator.
I've never seen Terminator, so that won't
Oh
be an
my
issue.
freaking word!
Tell me why and quote Terminator.
Because AI is what causes the Terminator to come alive. Skynet. But anyway, it's really disappointing that you don't know what that is. We'll have to watch that. We'll have to add it to the list of things that we'll have to watch down here, including Ghostbusters with Raylene.
Ghostbusters, Groundhog Day, and Terminator.
Well, I think Raylene's seen Groundhog Day, and you have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't have to see
Ned
that one.
Ryerson's my favorite character.
That's right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about AI.
Yeah.
So here's the problem, that we're looking at it like something to be feared. And that is not what you should do. You should look at it as this is a freaking opportunity that we should be super excited about. And I get it, right? Like AI is going to take away people's jobs. 100%.
Mhm.
Just like the cars took away the horse's job. Just like the computer took away the typewriter's job. Email replacing a lot of the postal service, right? That's going to happen. Or the cotton gin taking away the requirement for people to sift through the cotton, right? That's advancements in technology is good, because you know what? If you went back 150 years, you would be crying about how much work you have to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'd be writing on a stone.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Like even going back 40 years, right? In the office, they were using paper. They were lugging paper from one place to another location. There was, so I'm just thinking of, a regular office, doctor's office, okay? You had to carry around the doctor's notes and all that stuff. And you had to pull out the files, all that stuff. Now, click, click, click.
A lot of
And
it's
AI is going to
generated
make
now.
that even better.
It is.
AI is a good thing. I love what Steven says. AI is a tool to use. I'm using it like my own personal assistant.
Yes. Don't disagree.
Yeah. It's a good thing.
I just believe that there are probably things that need to be regulated with AI.
Such as?
Same things we regulate with the internet. You can't just go and do whatever you want on the internet. There are rules.
But the reason why the internet is what it is because of the lack of rules.
Right. Because it's free and fair. Or free. I wouldn't necessarily call it fair.
When it first came out, it was the wild, wild west. And that's when it was cool.
I'm just saying.
What is this? Let's go and look up White House. Don't go to whitehouse.com. Go to whitehouse.org. Big mistake. I don't know if it's still a bad site. It was like 20 years ago when I went. I'm like, oh, let's go to the whitehouse.com. And what popped up was not the president at the time. Trust me. That person did not look like George Bush. Didn't look like George Bush. Leave it. We'll drop it there. Anyway, so yeah, he intends to introduce legislation to call for a moratorium on the construction of AI data centers.
Yeah, that I don't.
It's just going to, oh man, that is just going to stifle things.
Yep. No.
Absolutely going to stifle things. And you know who's not going to put a moratorium on them? China.
No.
And then we're going to get behind in China.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's take a look at some of the comments here. And TJ Michael says, because the machines will one day take over and rule us. So you should be nice to the machines. Don't want to go back to paper, Susan says.
Yep.
And the internet was wild. Oh, I remember the White House and my office. Big mistake. Big mistake. And Steven says, TMI, Michael, TMI. I was at my friend's house, a friend that I go to church with, and it must have been like some sort of report that her kids were doing, because that's, oh my goodness, that was so bad. That was
We
terrible.
had some wild times.
Yeah, it wasn't good. All right, moving on to Vermont lawmakers are currently debating H772, a bill designed to strike a balance between tenant protections and landlord concerns in response to the state's severe housing shortage. Sponsored by Representative Mark Mahaly, the legislation proposes a grand bargain that would speed up the eviction process for non-payment or criminal activity, cutting notice times from 2 weeks to as little as 3 days, while simultaneously imposing new limits on security deposits and rent increases. The proposal highlights a grim choice for legislators, whether to risk increasing homelessness by making evictions more efficient or by discouraging landlords from participating in the market altogether.
Wasn't that what they were just talking about in here last week?
Yep, sure was.
How did they get that done so fast?
No, it was going on.
Oh.
It was going on. So, and this is the problem, like the whole eviction process, people can trash your house in the time that it takes to get them evicted.
Right.
And I saw there was, usually it's less than 90 days to get someone evicted. That's what the majority of the evictions happen. You can do a lot of damage in 90 days.
Yeah.
And if you're evicting somebody because they've trashed your house already, just allowing them to trash it for a couple more days is just not cool.
Right.
And if you're not getting paid rent as well, it makes sense why people are getting out of the landlord business.
It's got to be quick.
It really does.
Eviction's got to be, you do it and then it's like the next day.
Yeah.
Or you do it and it's a couple days, not 90 days.
Right. But I know people that have been evicted and they can't find a home. So that, but I also think that if the risk wasn't so steep of a risk, maybe people would be willing to take a chance.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yep.
You want to become a landlord?
No.
No?
No. Nope. 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 No.
You know how you avoid becoming a landlord?
Don't buy a house.
Well, no, I mean, yes, buying a rental house, you don't buy a rental house.
Yeah.
But you just, I screwed that up. I was thinking that wrong. What I meant to say is, you know how not to have to be a renter.
You buy a house.
You buy a house. And Fecto has zero energy ready homes built for comfort and efficiency. Think lower energy cost, better insulation and air sealing, more consistent indoor temps, and cleaner, healthier indoor air. Curious about what makes a ZERH, that's a ZERH, the zero energy ready home, manufacture homes different, or want to explore the available models for sale, send them a message at Fecto's. So it would be sales@fectohomes.com, or give them a call at 802-229-2721, or visit them online at fectohomes.com.
There you go.
Just like
Are you
that.
going to get a ZERH?
No. I'm going to buy myself a camper and I'm going to live in that.
There you go.
I kind of like that idea, actually.
Outside your house?
Yeah.
So you can go back in when you get too cold.
Montpelier City Hall is grappling with a massive influx of public records requests, with a single individual, Stephen Whitaker, responsible for over 70% of the inquiries made in 2025. According to a presentation by Acting Assistant City Manager Evelyn Prim, staff members spent approximately 634 hours last year processing 220 total requests, leading some city councilors to suggest legislative changes or the creation of a dedicated records officer position. The situation highlights a growing tension between government transparency and the administrative burden placed on small city staffs.
One dude.
Yes, one guy.
Wow.
So I know Stephen. He
Yeah.
occasionally goes to the State House.
I would imagine.
Yeah. He hasn't been there this year, actually.
No?
He did show up at the city council meetings a couple times when
That's because he's,
when we were dealing with Montpelier.
that's because
we
he's pummeling Montpelier with public access requests.
Well, I think the problem is like, let's be honest, government feels really shady, right?
Yeah.
And it feels like a lot is going on, and yet we don't know.
Well,
And-
I don't know, but you probably do.
No, I mean, I don't even know. Like, there's shady, like shady stuff that's. I do know some stuff, like,
Yeah.
and I just sit there and I'm like, I can't wait until this comes
Yeah.
out, and because it's like legitimate, like some stuff, like I feel like we should be a little bit more transparent, and I get that. What would be nice is that everything's online. I've received so many FOIA requests. I just say, just tell me what you want, I'll send it to you. I just like, I don't care. I'll just send it to you.
I'll just send it to you.
You know, here, you want that email? Fine, whatever. I don't care if
Here you
it's privileged. Yeah, sure. That's not true. I don't do that, just for the record. I don't just like send privileged information. Usually I'll get a request for something that isn't confidential, and I'll just send it instead of making people go through, the process. Like the Turning Point issue, I had Vermont Public ask me to send the emails. I mean, she could have gone through the formal process of doing a FOIA, then it would go through the State House, blah, 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 blah. I just said, I'll just forward it to you. It's
Right.
not that big of a deal. I don't, it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. And it was $6,000 in legal fees in 2025. Want to try to guess on how many requests have been filed since the beginning of 2026?
1,000.
Dude, I just said it was 220 that were filed last year. Try again.
Okay. 50.
No, 39. 39 requests have been filed. Want to guess how many came from Stephen?
38.
Close. 33. Susan must know who Stephen is, because she says, "Oh no, not Stephen Whitaker." Oh, poor Stephen. So she must work for the state. He bothers the state departments too. That's a lot. That's a lot.
What is he? Do we know what is he running a blog? What is he doing with all this
He's
stuff?
like, I think he's retired, and I think he's just interested in what's going on.
Gotcha.
I mean, I think that's the case. Like,
I'm
don't think
trying
he's-
to go through my head.
I know,
Like, what
well-
is this guy trying to do?
I don't think he's nefarious. I really don't. I think he's just very much wants to know everything, right? And like wants to make sure there's no shady business going
Right.
on, because he doesn't trust the government. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
We had that problem here, Wallace Nolan. I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, yeah, no, that was not good. Because he would come down and he would be irate with the city staff. And it got to the point where only Carol would talk to him. Like, if he ever came into the office, he had to speak to Carol only, because he was just very unpleasant to the staff there.
Wow.
Yeah, and he came up from, I think, Rutland, and yeah, it was very strange. But it's a lack of trust in our government, which, I get, right? Like, I've been in political activity. I can understand why somebody would feel like, hey, that feels really shady. But when you're on the inside, it doesn't really feel that shady, because it's not really shady. It feels like that because you're not part of every single conversation.
Yeah.
So, for example, when JJ Newberry's, when they were talking about that, a lot of people felt that was super shady. I wasn't a city councilor, but I knew what was going on because I was paying very close attention.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was shady at all. So, and that's because I was paying attention to the process.
Yeah.
And, and I would just ask questions if I had a question that, I had.
Yeah.
And I think that is one of the benefits of being involved in the political system, is that you understand what's going on.
Yep.
And you can also sign up for my email that I occasionally send out, which I haven't sent in weeks because no council meeting's been happening, which tells you what's going on in the city. Just saying, you can reach out if you want to be part of that email.
Well, you turn it into your legislative update.
Correct. Although this is kind of it. This show.
Yeah.
Well, not the legislative update. That's later.
Yeah. Can't wait for that. Sounds juicy.
Yes. No. U.S. men's hockey team beats Canada to win its first Olympic gold medal since 1980.
I watched that.
Please take it from here, because I know nothing about it.
Oh, I don't know anything about it either.
Oh.
I know they shoot a puck around, and the USA men won in overtime.
We'll just say it. America kicks ass.
Yeah, there you go. And I know a guy got his front teeth knocked out pretty good.
In hockey?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so surprised.
I was like, ooh.
Who knocked the teeth out?
A Canadian.
Knocked the teeth out of an American?
Yeah.
Bastards. And now if it was the other way around, I would have said, yeah, America.
Yeah.
U.S. men's hockey team beat Canada 2-1 in a thrilling and nail-biting Olympic final game, exactly 46 years ago, after Team USA beat the Soviet Union on the road to its last gold medal. There were plenty of chances for each team to win the final. The U.S. had more than 3 minutes of power play time past the midway point of the third after Sam Bennett high-sticked Jack Hughes, who then high-sticked Nick Suko to give Canada the same advantage. The teams went to overtime with the score tied at 1-1. Means nothing to me. And TJ Michael says, if Canada would have just been quiet and become our 51st state, they would be gold winner now too. That's hilarious. That's funny. That's some funny stuff right there. All right. What are you doing this Saturday?
I don't know, but I'm sure. No, wait. Actually, this coming Saturday, I'm taking my sibling to Top Golf in Canton, Massachusetts.
So you're going to miss out the best damn chili cook-off.
Yes. But I heard you're going to go live there.
I don't know if I'm going to go live there, but it's Saturday, February 28th. big prizes for the chili cook-off, and I just realized there's no dates or no times. But
Well, it's the best damn chili cook-off, so
it is.
I assume it's going to be
So
all
go to
day
Wilkins Harley Davidson,
on
their
Saturday.
Facebook page, to find out what the time is, because I don't have it here and I feel really bad about that.
And if you don't have Facebook and you can't find out, just on Saturday, go to Wilkins Harley Davidson, and I'm sure you'll run into some chili somewhere.
Or I could just do a quick search of the page and try to pull it up.
Yes, you
Which
could.
it's at 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
11
on
a.m.
Saturday.
on Saturday. Make sure you register.
Doesn't
if you-
chili take a long time to cook?
I don't cook chili. I'll eat it because I like
But like,
spicy stuff.
wouldn't they be there all day?
I don't know. I don't cook chili. All right. So
Are we getting into the juicy details now?
we're gonna get into the one that got like 454 comments on 802 Scoop. Vermont lawmakers are considering a series of bills aimed at increasing taxes on the state's highest earners to address economic inequality and fund public incentives. Initiatives. Proponents argue that these measures, collectively referred to as a fair share for Vermont, are necessary to recapture federal tax cuts provided to the wealthy and to raise revenue for healthcare, housing, and school infrastructure. Critics, however, warn that such aggressive taxation could make Vermont less competitive and drive away high-income residents, including medical professionals and business owners. So,
Are you a high income earner?
no, I am definitely not. In fact, this bill would actually probably be good for me. I'm not going to lie, and probably good for 95% of Vermonters, but that doesn't mean that it's right. So one of the biggest problems with lawmakers and people in general is that we have a problem with covetousness. And it's a sin. It's a sin. It's one of the 10 bad ones. In fact, it's the 10th one. So there's 10 commandments, right? And number 10 is covet. Want something so much that you want to take it from them. See, and that's what this is. It's covetousness, wanting something so much that you want to take it from them. When I see somebody with a big, huge house, I may want their house, but I don't want to take their house. There's a difference. There's a big difference. But the difference is one isn't sin. The problem with bills like this, and even like Gavin Newsom's like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that. We've already lost a lot of people. Maybe we shouldn't do that. The problem with bills like this is it just pushes people out of the state of Vermont. And it has, I think it was 11%, 11.75% on people over $500,000 married, filing jointly, $500,000. So if you have two high income earners making, $250,000 each, they're going to get, taxed at a higher rate once they go over that 500. And for us, that feels like 500. I'd take, 100.
Yeah.
But they worked for that money. That's their money.
Yep.
And what we're doing is saying that, well, you can't have that money because we want that money. We don't like the fact that you make that money.
Yep.
And that's not a good way to do things. And we could end up causing people to leave the state of Vermont, and then all that money that we don't want them to have won't be here, won't be spent in our communities. And that's just like, that's a jerk move.
Yeah. It'll
But
free up some houses, though.
yep, it would. All right, so Liam wants to tax the rich. I'm not saying that, it's a bad idea to tax the rich because like I'm not rich. But
Me
again, it's like
It's not
that's the
nice.
problem.
Right.
I'm not rich. And so it doesn't affect me. So like that's the problem. It actually benefits me, but it doesn't feel right
Right.
to because they made that money.
Yeah.
Although UVM president or CEO makes like $1.5 million. So you know what? Maybe I'll support the bill.
Yeah. I still think that's ridiculous.
So 454 comments on it,
Yep.
336 emojis, 25 shares. Comments like, Bernie might have to sell his houses.
Did you count the emojis?
No, the emojis tell you how much there are.
Oh.
So Bernie might have to sell one of his houses. Love that comment. Alfred Clayton says 650,000 residents, 200,000 on some kind of assistance annually, 300 employed working people. Oh, gee, let's make another act for protection of the climate, change leadership to people who care about Vermonters, cut regulations, invite businesses, upskill your workforce, shore up our farm and forest industries, vote common sense November 3rd midterms. Yes. But somebody by the name of Joe B says, how many people complaining here are making over 250K? Valid point. Or own a second home. And then Albert Marquez says, the wealthy will find a way to avoid it or straight up move out. Meanwhile, the ones who will suffer will be the middle class who have a family camp or someone trying to make something of themselves with a rental home, discourage rental property owners. Meanwhile, they keep crying about housing crises and lack of rental properties. Hashtag truth.
Yep. He forgot the hashtag though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't do that. But Susan says, I think everyone needs to be taxed at the same rate. There is something to be said, flat tax, nothing in, nothing out at the end of the year.
There you go.
IRS overall, totally, 100% agree. Should just ban them. There was a time we didn't have an IRS, okay? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Those were the good days. All right, let's see. We're going to skip that because no, we're not going to skip that. All right, ready for this one?
I'm ready for the juicy details. Yep.
No, that's not coming. We're going to go really late tonight. So I apologize to everybody. We're like running our mouths. We're like, it's going to be late tonight. I got to lower the content. New federal regulations taking effect this spring will require all commercial drivers, license holders, CDLs, applicants to complete their knowledge and skill tests exclusively in English. The rule issued by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, say that 10 times fast, FMCSA, aims to standardize safety across the trucking and busing industries by ensuring all drivers can understand essential road signs and communicate with law enforcement. While federal officials cite highway safety as a primary motivator, some advocates and local agencies worry the change will worsen the existing driver shortage by creating a significant barrier for non-native English speakers. Thoughts?
They think if they learn it in English, they're going to be safer.
Well, when was the last time you were driving?
Today.
Today.
Yeah.
What were the signs in?
English.
And I think that's the
Is that the point?
issue
Yeah.
is that everything's in English. So maybe if you're driving a huge rig, and I think this has something to do with some sort of accident that happened where a person couldn't speak a lick of English. Um, and I think about that, like if you get pulled over, right,
Mhm.
and you can't talk to a police officer because you don't know English. I mean,
There's
that's a
something to
problem.
that, yeah.
That's a huge problem. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe you should learn English.
Right. At least some.
I hate to say that, but um, you know,
Just like if we
in
went to, Mexico or Spain,
well,
we,
so I mean, you make a valid point here, right? Like, what about people that are internationally traveling?
Yep.
You drive your truck up to Canada,
it's all
although
in
this is
Canadian.
not this is not this is for CDLs in the United States.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if that would qualify. But if you take your truck up into Canada, are you going to know the language up there?
Probably not.
Probably not, because it's French.
Right.
Nobody learns French. It's an archaic language.
Yeah. Just like nobody learns English.
Or Spanish is the
Yeah.
same thing when you go down south. So I don't know. I do know this, that if you want to get your CDL, the best way to do it is Giroux General Transport Incorporated, GGTI. They have opening, well, they don't, I'm sure they don't now, but call them at 802-279-3325 to see if you can get into one of their classes.
There you go. Go learn how to drive a big twat.
I would not want to drive a big truck.
No? I think
This
it'd be
truck
fun.
is too big for me.
I think it'd be fun.
All right. One more before the one that's going to get me into trouble.
The juicy details.
Yeah. Governor Phil Scott joined fellow state leaders in Washington, D.C. this week for National Governors Association winter meeting to address pressing national issues through a bipartisan lens. A primary focus of the summit was the Disagree Better initiative, aimed at reducing political polarization and finding common ground on complex issues and challenges like housing, workforce development, and the opioid crisis. Scott utilized the platform to advocate for federal support in rural economic revitalization and to learn from other states' strategies for managing rising education and healthcare costs. There was a lot of people that did not like the fact that he was going to not go, because he originally said that he wasn't going to go.
Right.
But the reason why was because it wasn't a bipartisan event.
Yeah.
It was I that's what I heard, that it was just going to be the Republicans and that was the only ones that were going to be invited. I can understand that. I can understand where he's coming from on that. Cuz Democrats aren't evil. I mean, some of them are, but
Not all of them.
no, Democrats aren't evil. It's the progressives. I can understand that. I turning point, right? So, and we'll talk about that. There was someone that was a reporter that I said I would have a hard time going if you were like not allowed to come, because that to me feels like it's against the mission, which that person was allowed to come. In fact, we had Vermont Public at the Turning Point event on Friday night. So we'll just go right into that now. So couple weeks ago, well, let's go back. So Seth and oh, I can't remember his name now. That's terrible. They came to the school board and they said that they were creating a Turning Point chapter in Barre. And they passed out pins. It was all at the school board. Everybody was perfectly fine until they realized what Turning Point was, Turning Point USA. And then people were not overly excited about it for the school board members. I didn't care. I'm a Republican and I'm a Christian, so I don't really have a problem with Turning Point.
Yeah.
So, and then Seth approached me, and we've had him on the show a couple
Yeah,
times. Good kid.
Yeah.
Has a hearse, and he's a good kid. And he invited me, and I said, yeah, I would speak. And there was another person that was invited that had some questionable baggage, right? That's what I'm going to say. So when I first heard about it, I was like, okay, this is not cool.
Right.
And I called the person and I tried to get his information and figured out, because I didn't know who he was. I mean, I've met him before, and I just I don't research everybody that I talk to.
Right.
Only if you look sketchy.
If you look sketchy, then
If you look sketchy, I research you. No, I mean, I don't research everybody that I talk to.
Yeah.
And so I get the emails about, history, and I'm like, okay, well, this is really not cool. And I reached out, and there was an explanation. I didn't like the explanation, and I was like, fine, whatever. I'll do it. I'll still speak. But then on Wednesday, like, something else was sent to me, which escalated it. In fact, I was informed that there would be, because Wednesday we met at the school board. I was informed that there was a potential that something was going to happen at the school board meeting, which was just like, oh my goodness. So my entire day on Wednesday was like foobarred. so foobarred. Yeah. TJ Michaels says, I consider myself fully researched. Yeah, I know. I know what I'm getting into with you. So I'm like freaking out, because now there's like this weird thing that's out there, and I dropped out, and I just felt so bad about that. Because one, it was Seth that asked me to come, not Turning Point USA, not some adult, not some, controversial figure. It was Seth. He's been on our show, and he's been super nice. And so I felt terrible. And I ended up saying, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And I'm going to focus on what I think these kids need to hear. And that's what I did. And I told him, though, that I needed to be last, which was really good, because the entire event was all about God and country, except for one speaker. And it didn't feel like that as much. It was kind of, it just like, it was, everything was smooth, and then like we got a jolt. And then I was able to like bring it back to, and it was a really amazing event. I cried multiple times, and because it wasn't crazy. It was just amazing. People talking about, God, and, being involved. It was just phenomenal. And I highly encourage people that, may be skeptical of that, to reach out to me, because I have uploaded the video, and I have the entire video of it all. And it was a really good event. And I am very thankful that I still went.
Yeah.
Because my message was live a righteous life and do what's right. And as these kids, they're kids. They're like 16, 17-year-old kids. And Hezekiah was, and that's what I used for an example, was Hezekiah from the Bible. He was 25 years old, less than 10 years difference. And he was a king, and he was a righteous king. And my challenge to them was be a righteous ruler, be a righteous leader. And I think it was a great night.
Mm. And
I'm really hopeful, though, that those kids will be that, will take that advice.
So are they going to meet? Is this in every month? Is this in every week? How often are they going to meet?
I don't know.
We'll have to have Seth back on to tell us.
We'll definitely have to do that. Apparently, they needed so many people to access like more speakers, which I don't think they should do that. They should only just do local speakers.
Local speakers, definitely.
Nobody wants to really. Well, that's not true. I mean, if Ben Shapiro showed up, I would be like super ecstatic. I love Ben. But it's. I think that, it is. It was a good event, and I highly recommend. I posted my video.
Yep.
And I highly recommend people watch it, share it, and drop a comment about, these kids. They're just phenomenal. So, all right. We have gone 1 hour and 33 minutes.
We're going to have to starting these things a bit earlier.
Or maybe I shouldn't be like packing our agenda, because it's definitely packed. Susan said she watched it and it was well done. Thank you. And TJ obviously hasn't watched it because he needs to get on the path of righteousness.
All right. TJ's on a path. It's definitely not that one.
All right. Well, you have anything?
Nope.
All right. In that case, everyone, you have a lovely evening. We'll be here tomorrow at 8 p.m. for Brian Massey, who is running for city councilor in Northfield. So,
well, that's good to know.
Yeah. So if you know people in Northfield, let them know Brian Massey's going to be here. We're gonna.
You remember his last name?
I think it's that. I hope it is.
Hopefully, we're not going to have two Brians on.
No, we're going to only have one.
Brian Massey, and then the other guy who's running in Northfield, right?
So no, we only have one. Only one. All right, guys. Have a wonderful evening.